Hello again. Last lesson we looked at how the Garden of Eden is a symbol of a heavenly state of mind. Now we start to get into the details of what's contained in that state of mind, the ingredients, so to speak. And we'll start with the trees. This is Genesis 2, verse 9. And Jehovah God caused to sprout from the ground every tree desirable in appearance and good for food, and the tree of lives in the middle of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Swedenborg learned that a tree, in this context of a heavenly state of mind, is a symbol of perception, which means an inner ability to recognize what is true and what is good. You could call it heavenly intuition. Secrets of Heaven 104 says, perception is an inner feeling for whether a thing is true and good, a feeling that can come only from the Lord, which was very familiar to the people of the earliest church. The sensation is so clear for angels that it gives them awareness and recognition of truth and goodness, of what comes from the Lord and what comes from themselves. The trees that are said to be desirable in appearance mean an immediate inner knowing of whether a concept is true. Truth is beautiful. It delights our understanding like beautiful trees delight our eyes. The trees that are good for food mean an immediate inner knowing of what's good. Goodness is useful and nourishing. It feeds and warms our motivations and our actions. In an earthly or even a spiritual state of mind, it can be so hard to figure out what's true and what would be a good thing to do. In an earthly state of mind, we can only make decisions based on worldly motivations and results. In a spiritual state of mind, we've formed a conscience to live by, but that's not always pure or accurate. So it's a wonderful perk of the heavenly state of mind that it's not hard anymore to see the true and good options for making decisions, or to recognize what is God's guidance versus our own self-guidance. There's an abundant inner ability to recognize truth and goodness, like the abundant variety of trees in the Garden of Eden. And then there are the two named trees, the tree of life, or more literally from the Hebrew, the tree of lives, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Secrets of Heaven 102 says, the tree of lives symbolizes love and the faith it leads to. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil symbolizes faith based on evidence from the senses, that is, on secular knowledge. So both trees are about faith, but faith from different sources. The tree of lives means a faith that comes from that inner resource of the Lord's love. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil means a faith based on external sources like physical sensation or earthly information. Notice, though, that God placed both trees in the garden. But where in the garden makes the difference? Most Bible translations reflect that the phrase "in the middle of the garden" goes with the tree of life, or the tree of lives, and not with the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And Swedenborg agrees with that. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil was put into the Garden of Eden by God because God wants us to use our physical senses and the outer environment as part of our lives. But in the divine design for our minds, the tree of lives is in the center. This is Secrets of Heaven 105. The tree of lives is love and the faith it leads to. In the middle of the garden means in the will that belongs to the inner self. Our will is our center. All our thoughts and feelings revolve around our will, or what we care about the most. When we've regenerated, God can place us into a state of mind in which heavenly love is at our center, in our will. We want what God wants, and that guides everything we think and do. This is a divine gift. Secrets of Heaven 105. Since none of us can do good on our own, our will or heart in this heavenly state of mind is not ours, even though it is described as ours. What is truly our own is self-interest, which we call our will. Because the will is the middle of the garden in which stands the tree of lives, and we have no will aside from self-interest, this tree is the Lord's mercy, the source of all love and faith, and so of all life. In the seventh-day state of spiritual rebirth, God gives us the gift of His will, which is the desire that everyone be happy and blessed forever. Accepting this desire into our center is the structure of the most blessed and peaceful state of mind, and knowing that can help us cooperate with the process that will get us there. Here's the Bible verse again, Genesis 2, verse 9. And Jehovah God caused to sprout from the ground every tree desirable in appearance and good for food, and the tree of lives in the middle of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And here's my inner meaning rewrite. And Jehovah God activates perceptions in this heavenly state of mind, intuition about what is genuinely true and genuinely good. God places heavenly love into our will, our inner core, and God also maintains in us the ability to learn through our senses and earthly knowledge. Next lesson, we'll move on to the rivers.